Hi, welcome back. I'm Sharon Reid with Work It Out Workshops, and you're here for your 10-minute pick-me-up. We're here to inspire you. We're here to encourage you. I'd like for you to welcome our guest today, Ms. Antoinette Ouattara. She is CEO and founder of Nutrinique Living. It is a nutritional and wellness consulting practice. Welcome. Good to see you again. Tell me about your practice.
Yes, Nutrinique Living is a nutrition and wellness consulting practice which specializes in teaching individuals to eat healthy, live healthy, and stay healthy.
You know, as I was saying in the introduction, diets just don't work. So why diets don't work? Why do we hate to go on diets? I don't even like the word diet.
I think one of the key words is restrictions. You know, people feel that they're restricted in eating certain things that they love to eat. You know, we all like, we like food. Food makes us feel good. Food tastes good. Mm-hmm. So I think diets don't work for people because they just feel as though that they can't have the foods that they've been enjoying all their lives. So that's why they don't work, you know.
And what do you do for a client?
So what I do for a client, basically I teach clients how to eat. I encourage them to make healthy selections. I teach them how to read labels. I teach them some basic cooking skills. So these are some of the things that I do. I deal with individuals based on their lifestyles, based on their culture, based on where they live, based on their environments. So this is what we do at Nutrinique Living.
So I understand, from what I'm understanding, then you will take an individual and do a history and find out what things they eat, how they eat, and also incorporate and understand some of their cultural foods that they may eat. So you're not restricting them and telling them they can't eat this. I understand, I've heard you before speak and say you never tell someone what they can and cannot eat.
No, I don't. I have to get to understand that individual. I basically get to understand the individual, where they come from, what's their cultural background. They may have different religion, dietary restrictions. And once I learn that, we start to work together. And we work together in making selections that's good for them, healthier selections good for them. I tend to tell my clients, you know what, I'm going to teach you how to eat healthy. I'm going to fill your plate with so many healthy foods. Those bad selections are just not going to have any room on your plate.
And what I find unique about your particular consulting is that you actually will walk a client, go to the farmer's market. You will actually go to the supermarket with them, help them read labels, and find alternatives for what they eat if it's a poorer choice.
Oh, that's the fun part about it.
Yeah,
that's the fun. I enjoy doing that. I really do enjoy that. And yes, I do. I take the clients. That's one of the programs. That's one of the Nutrilique Get Healthy programs. And that's what we do. Throughout one of the phases, I say this is time for you to go to the store. Let me see how you shop. Let me see some of the foods, some of your selections that you make. And I teach them how to read labels because so many of the labels are misleading. Yeah. I take them to the farmers markets. I introduce different fruits to them from different countries or different parts of the world, and to teach them what's the benefits of maybe that fruit or that vegetable or that grain. Right. And that's the fun part about it.
I think so too, because many times I'll go to a market and I'll realize that I've seen a strange fruit or a strange vegetable, or I'm not sure which one it is, and I'd love for someone to show me how to cook it, because I think if we have variety in our diet, we won't have the same menu every single week. So I just applaud you for that. So I'd love for you to give our audience something to take home with. What are we going to inspire our folks with today?
Inspiring folks about enjoying your foods. But when you enjoy your foods, think about how it can benefit you, benefit your body. Is it good for you? And I encourage you to incorporate more fruits and vegetables and whole grains in your diet. And also, one of the things I would like for you to do, physical activities, exercise. Even if it's only 20 to 30 minutes a day of just walking. All of that help you to reduce those extra pounds that you may put on, and it's good for your heart, it's good for just your overall well-being.
Ms. Ouattara, I don't mean to go on the bad foot here, but to tell you the truth, we've all heard about eating vegetables, eating more fruit. We hear these things all the time, and yet obesity is still on the rise. So some practical advice can you give us? Tell me more about why diets don't work, we don't stick to it, and we hear fruits and vegetables, and I'm sure everyone has at least one fruit a week or a day, and are putting a little bit of vegetables on the plate because we hear it all the time. So what can you tell us that's a little different from the stuff that we hear all the time?
Well, one, just to kind of address what you said in your concern, yes, dieting is not working for some people. We still see that the obesity rate in America in particular is still on the rise. We have so many different types of dietary theories that exist. When you go to the bookstore, you see all these different diet books and people buy them. And then you hear on the TV and you read in the paper and you read your magazines, people with different theories. We have different theories, dietary theories. And some of them do work for people because we are all individuals. One diet may work for one person, may not work for that other person. And you hear about, eat more fruits and vegetables, eat more whole grains, reduce your saturated fats, reduce trans fatty acids in your diet. But the problem that we're having here is there's an overload of information, and people are confused.
I would be with the amount of information. It's like I don't know which diet to take, whose advice to take. And when you're watching TV or on the net, you're hearing so many different ways to lose weight, if that's what you want to do. If I was totally overweight, I would be so upset.
It's overwhelming, and people tend to get scared about making the right choices about their eating because we do listen to the news. We are bombarded with all this information. So what's so unique about my practice, I deal with the person on an individual basis. I don't get into, hey, this diet, that diet, this diet. Oh, this is a wonderful diet. Try this diet.
So what you're saying is each of your clients have a different way of eating, and you don't have just one particular way for every client.
You're absolutely right. Not one particular way, not one particular menu. I sit down and I build it up with them. We build it together. We come up with strategies together. We work on you as an individual. What do you like? What's your preferences? And if you say, hey, you may tell me that, oh, I like to eat white rice. And I may say, hey, that's not good for you. But I won't totally tell you to eliminate white rice out of your diet. Let's get a little bit more brown rice into your diet. A little bit more whole grain, because we have to take gradual steps. But when you're watching TV and you're reading the paper and they say, oh, don't eat this, don't eat that, people are like, well, let me rush and let me stop eating, and then they crash and they go back to eating it. So I coach them through it. I'm coaching them through it, and I'm encouraging them, and I motivate them so they can do it. Bring it out of yourself. Let's balance it out. Let's have some type of balance with it. And I'm seeing better results with this.
And let me tell you, one of the things that I'm so guilty of, I love sweets.
Mm-hmm.
I love, after I've had a great meal, I love to have a dessert. My friends know that I save room for the sweets. So what would you caution me about with the sweets?
I would just, I like sweets as well. But I bake a lot of my goods.
Okay.
And so I can decide on what types of sugars are better for me. So I would say, hey, Sharon, don't take your sweets out, but maybe limit the type of sweets that you're eating. I may recommend for you to have agave, or maybe recommend for you to have honey instead of have refined white sugars.
Tell me, what's this agave?
Agave comes from the agave cactus, and it's a sugar that it processes better in your body.
Oh.
So I would
and is that easy to get?
Yes, you can get it from the health food store. And
can you spell that for us?
Agave, A-G-A-V-E, agave.
Okay.
Yes. You can get it from the health food store, or I see it a lot in local grocery stores as well.
And so you're using that instead of honey or maple syrup?
Well, honey is nothing wrong with honey.
Okay.
We have to be careful with honey. But you could use that as a substitute for honey. You could use that as a substitute for maple syrup. But I'm totally saying take refined white sugars from out of your diet.
So would that be the tip of the day? Give us a tip of the day.
The tip of the day, since we talk about the tip of the day, okay, refined white sugars. Let's eliminate those from out of our diet and start thinking about better selections of sugars. And I guess we could talk about that in further detail in another series.
Thank you so much. I hope you stick around and join with us in our panel discussion. So we'll look forward to talking with Ms. Ouattara once more. Thank you for working our workshop, 10-minute video series. I hope you were inspired. Stay away from that white sugar.